And me doing my Varshitap is just a preparation for that Samadhi, you know. So whenever any calamity comes up and you're able to fight your Kshuddha Vedaniya Karma, means with calmness, then you can fight anything in the world. Because the Jeev is associated with the body since Anadikal, and the body is associated with food since Anadikal. So the attachment for the body and for the food are there with the Jeev since Anadikal. So if you break the attachment for the food, then it will be easy to break the attachment for the body. Provided you have the Swadhyay ki Shakti. Swadhyay ka bal yadi aapke saath hai, so then it will be easy to break these attachments. Otherwise, if you don't have Swadhyay ka bal, the Antaranga tap, you know, there are 6 types of external tap and 6 types of internal tap. Without the internal tap, you keep doing the external tap, that will not break attachment. It will only lead to more attachment. You know? So you may break the attachment for food, but you will have attachment related to other kashay. Supposing I have done fasting, then I may want some name and fame and all that, then I'll be doing the man kashay. So basically that kashay also is one kind of ahar for the Mohaniya karma, is also the ahar for that vibhav, not for that vibhav parya is also coming to the jeev. So it is consuming it. Rather it is being consumed by it. Right? So to break this cycle, you need to have the Tattva Gyan, for which Godhaji voiced. Without Tattva Gyan, without Bheda Vigyan, nobody can get moksha. So we have to work towards Tattva Gyan, so that Tattva Gyan will lead to Bheda Vigyan. And then all these practices should be, disciplined life is very, very important. And yesterday Panditji said that he used to work for very late hours, not taking care of his health. And Panditji had warned him that you should not do so much work. More work is not important. Your samadhi is more important. So you do less work. Don't till late night, 1, 2 o'clock, he would be on his mobile and not mobile, his tablet, working, editing, reading, writing, and all these kind of things. So that caused his cells to burn out, and that led to the formation of the tumor, and then he collapsed. The tumor bursted. And anyway, but whatever it was, before that itself, he took samadhi. Samadhi means he went in deep meditation, and then the tumor burst, and then he went into coma, and then he left this body. So that must have been really very painful, you know. The tumor, some say it was in the throat, some say it was in the brain, we don't know. So that must have been really very painful, you know, and that must have been the uday of his Vedaniya karma. Yeah. So if you want, I can tell you the order in which the diseases appear. Then you will know the root cause of the diseases. What led to the tumor? Not his tumor, or anybody, tumor or cancer or AIDS or whatever it is. No, it's a big science in itself, and you should all see. I do a lot of integration of nature cure and Jainism. So all these nature cure therapies were there in our Jain scriptures. I just tried to trace some texts. You know, I'm working on a very important article, and I would like to share the abstract of that article, not in a format, but orally. I would like to tell you what I've written in the abstract. I'm developing it into a paper. And so much matter is there that I feel I can write a book on it. That much of matter is there. So definitely, let's see, something comes up, I'll do it. I'm not a very good writer, you know. It's very difficult for me to pen my thoughts. I'm a good teacher, I'm a good learner, I'm a good practitioner. There ends my story. But I keep writing, and I write well, but I would like to even write better. And I want to team up with somebody who can really write well, and we can co-author books. So it's an open invitation to all of you. Whoever feels you can do justice, then you can join me. And I request you all to do 9 times Namokar mantra and try to get connected to the cosmic energy in the name of Sanjeev Ji Godha. Pray for his departed soul. Yes, friends. But only 10 people are in the class. As it goes, I think it's single digit, it will fall. Anyway, I'm prepared for it. My punya is only this much that I can reach out to 10 people. Yes, request you all to take chapter number 6. Any doubts? Today we'll try to complete this chapter. Any doubts? Anybody has done any reading? Today somebody can do the Gandhar and Bhavbhasan. I hope you all have sent the LCPAs. Kapil, Padmapriya, I request you to forward the LCPAs to me. Or you want me to go to Moodle and see it. You'll have to guide me.
Ma'am, I will do the Gandhar today.
We'll forward it to you, ma'am. If we'll download it from Moodle and we'll forward it to you.
Please forward it to me. I'll forward all the marks to you so that you can upload them.
Okay.
So do it quickly, okay? Because we don't have time. Yeah, we were doing about Ku-Guru. Ku-Dev we finished, Ku-Guru. So Ku-Dev, Ku-Guru are not people. They are all the pseudo-beliefs. Okay, no Dev is Ku-Dev or Su-Dev. It is your manyata about them. That is Ku-Dev and Ku-Guru. Clear? He may be a Ku-Guru or whatever it is, but you are not to be judgmental to tell them Ku-Dev or Ku-Guru. That should be clear. You have to see the Ku-Guru in you, the Ku-Dev in you. All your wrong beliefs, because Samyak Darshan is all to do with your belief system. We all want Samyak Darshan. Samyak Darshan means Samyak Darshan will not happen unless this Mithya Darshan goes. Mithya Darshan related to what? Related to soul and related to Ku-Dev, Ku-Guru, Ku-Dhar. Related to reality. You have to have a right perception of everything. See, you may not be able to follow it 100%. That's okay. But at least your belief about things should be right. You should know what is gold and what is brass. At least at the faith level, at the knowledge level, you should be sure that this is gold and this is copper or brass or whatever it is. You cannot wear a gold chain. You want to wear a brass chain, that's okay. But don't mistake the brass chain to be a gold chain. Clear? Don't mistake this for this and this for this. So that is what is the message, not message, the bottom line of this chapter. So we were doing the Ku-Guru thing, and I think we were in page number 180 of the Hindi book. And I'll quickly tell you what is there in these pages. And based on these lectures, you will be able to read through the chapters. And if you have any doubts, you can please bring it to me. I'll be very happy to attend to them. Okay, dear friends. So in page number 181, Pandit Todarmalji says, one more thing, it reminds me that Todarmalji also was 47 when he died and Sanjeevji Godha was 47. Todarmalji was a revolutionary of his times, and Sanjeevji Godha also, he propagated Jainism far and wide. before COVID, in a year, he would go to at least 40 countries. That is what he told me when he came to my place. He's delivered an endowment lecture for our department on Pan Sambai, and he has come home. He has had breakfast with us. So, yeah. And from the same asan, yes. From where Todarmalji used to sit and preach, from this very same place, Godhaji started teaching and preaching, and he rose to such great heights. And he was not a part of the Smarak. He never studied at the Smarak. His son is studying at the Smarak, and he was a very self-made man. He's done his MA, he's done his MPhil, he's done his NET exam, is cleared, he's done his PhD. So that way he rose, to promote Jainism, and he was one of the dearest students of Bharil sir. Not in the physical sense, but in the, emotional sense. He did not study with Bharil sir as such, but he took forward what Todarmalji told and what Bharil sir told. So that way he was a very dear pupil of Bharil sir. And yeah, that's it. It just came to me when I spoke about Todarmalji. So Todarmalji's death also was tragic, and his death also was a kind of a tragedy. So many similarities, between both these legendary people. And we have our student Raj in our Sunday batch. He has done a lot of videos for Godhaji, and they used to have regular chats. And he is subtitled one of Sanjeev Ji's videos, and he sent it to me for reviewing. And with Swanubhuti, Raj, and they all team up and they're doing some video work. And yeah, so he told me that, what to say? Yeah, he told me that he's going to meet Dada, that is Bharil sir in Jaipur, post Sanjeev Ji's death. And I just sent 2 messages for Bharil sir through him. And can you guess what I would have said? Can you all wild guess what I would have said? See, first of all, whatever Godhaji has taught, we have to learn and practice. That is for us, right? That is his message for us. That I take it. That's number 1. That we cannot tell to that. Number 2 is, we should bring out a commemoration volume in the memory of Godhaji, and all over the world, people must have had interactions with him, and some or the other insights they must have got. We can invite them all, get it all poured in and put it in that commemoration volume. That will talk, how Sanjeev Ji has touched so many lives. So you can have a children's section, women's section, Gyani section, non-Jain section, Aam Aadmi section, and then topic wise, you can invite articles about Godhaji, and you can bring out one volume. Second thing is, translate his videos, 4,000 videos in different languages. Translate or subtitle them and give it to the world, So that these are the 2 ways, again, we can promote Jainism the way Godhaji was promoting. So these are the things I told to Raj to tell Bharil sir. So if you have any ideas, you can just pour in, not pour in, you can just put it and it will be communicated to them. That's it. And I feel privileged, I feel blessed to be a part of this Paramagam family, where we got to study this beautiful text on which Godhaji has given pravachan. And yesterday, Jayantilal sir was telling that you should listen to his pravachan on Ratnakaran Shravakachar, on Samyak Darshan. And yes, each in his playlist, if you go, he's almost covered all aspects of Jainism. All I think all his videos are like one encyclopedia of Jainism. So that beautiful things are. So we should be privileged to have had him, but we should not just stop with that. What do you people say? What do you people
That's
say?
right, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I've also had the privilege of listening to some of his videos, and many difficulties that arise, they have been solved. And the language has been so very simple, and I quite agree with you that, he was an eloquent speaker and had an insightful knowledge about the religion.
And as a person, he was so humble, very down to earth, very humble, very simple man, He
Yes.
had no air that I'm such a big person, so learned, traveling, so famous. Small children would like to take pictures with him, and they would act like Sanjeev Godha, So after 50 years or so, people will talk about him, our grandchildren and all will talk about him in a different way. And we have been contemporaries, and he was just 47. Just imagine, 8 years younger to me. And what marvelous work he has done. So I was just comparing, he's done 4,000 videos and I just have 150 videos. And in this Corona time, he has done so many videos, And not Corona time, he's been doing it. I think he's been very smart in recording whatever he spoke. I don't record it. He records it and he puts it, and very nicely he's used the technology, But rather technology used him and put him to such a fateful thing. Okay, chalo, come back. So come back to Kundukunda Acharya, who says in Darshan Pahud that Samyak Darshan is the root of all Jain practices. If Samyak Darshan is not there, nothing is there. Nothing is there. And yesterday in the department, we had the special lecture on types of Samyak Darshan. If you people want it, you can all go to my YouTube channel, Jai Bharat, Jai Jinshasan, and you can see it over there. Okay. Yeah. So if your darshana, it's a very popular line, Dansana bhatto, Dansana bhattasa nathi mokho. Brashta means what? Brasht means devoid. One who is devoid of darshan. Brasht means brashtachar, corrupted form of darshan. If you have, then in life you are corrupt only. You may be corrupted outside in the business world or social world or not, but if your belief is corrupted, not clear, not aligning with the truth, then your whole life is corrupted, and not this life, but many lives to come will be a suffering for the soul. The soul will wander here and there in search of happiness, and it won't find, it will wander in darkness. So, whether you have 1,000 commitments in your material world, keep them aside and have some time for Samyak Darshan commitment. What is Samyak Darshan? How to get Samyak Darshan? Have I got Samyak Darshan? What should I do to get Samyak Darshan? So that should be the commitment level. Then your life will be different. Okay. So a person who does not have this Samyak Darshan, and if you try to serve him, then you come from darkness, you go back to more darkness because of this Kuguru. So you have to be very careful. And those who are Mithya Drishti Gurus and they want the other people to worship them, such people will be born in deaf, dumb Paryay. Okay, deaf, dumb Paryay, and it will be very difficult for them to get the Bodhi. Okay, then he says, a person who is having plenty of dosha, who is not at dharma, and he's having only the vesha of a guru, he is like the fruit of a sugarcane tree, which will not bear any results. And he has no realization of the Atma ke gun, and he does not aspire for them. He is like a jester, vidushak. Jester, a comedian who makes all jesters in the king's palace and all that. And even though they are nagna, they keep so much parigraha, so then these people will wander. Then he says that you can take to the lower vratas, minor vratas, and you can do higher activities. But you can't take the higher vows and do lower activities. महाव्रत की अपनी एक गरिमा है. महाव्रत are महाव्रत, right? So like a child, you can natak mein you can act like a king, you can act like a minister, and you can fumble and you can have your drama flawed. That's okay. But being a prime minister, being a king, you should not do anything wrong, because people will emulate you. And then if you do wrong, then all the people will do wrong. So that will amount to larger, greater sin. Okay, so he says, when you take to all these things and then you wander Ananta Sansar, it is better to be a grihast and do tap in a householder's life. No need to go to that way if you are not committed to it, if you're not sincere about it. Okay. Then he says, being munis, they look at women, they do all this gossip and they do all this parigra. So all these people are kugurus. And then they have attachment for their followers, and they publish books and things in their name. They have huge placards, right? They want to be in the social media and all that. So he says, आगे जाकर के बताते हैं यहाँ पर, just as a deer, no, a deer, you know, deer, it will always try to be near the urban communities, a little exterior of the urban places, whereas a muni should not even be there, right? He should be in the forest, in the caves, and he should be meditating, and only for the food thing he will come to the community, not otherwise. Okay, so the deer is always fearful of things, so muni will also be having a lot of anxiety for people to come and visit him for food and all these things. Then he cannot go on the higher levels of sadhana. So that way he talks. And then so all this is not criticism of the muni, it is warning for the muni that, hey, if you want to be a muni, then don't do all these mistakes and don't increase your sansar existence. Be careful. So that is the idea, you know. So people don't understand this and they feel, oh, he's criticizing us, and so they got him killed. You know, so in these chapters, he's written about all the philosophies and all the other forms of the Jain community practices. So everybody thought that they were criticizing them, and so they just got him killed, you know. So, but he was fearless. He was fearless in his life and in his death. Kaun? Todarmal ji. Okay, so you should read about the lifetime and works of Pandit Todarmal ji and get a hang of what actually that person was, you know. Yeah. So then he says people take to a lot of shitilachar. You know what is shitilachar? What to say? Laxities in practices. So he says people see. It is better to be without a guru than to have a pseudo guru. It is better to be without a guru than to have a co-guru in your life. Okay, supposing a person is Nastik, he says a person is Nastik. So a person is Nastik who does not believe in God. Okay. First of all, you have to know the lakshan of God to believe in God. If without knowing the lakshan of God, simply blindly you're following it, then you're another kind of Nastik. One, you don't believe only in anything, that is another kind of Nastik. And without examining the lakshan, you believe in it, that is another kind of Nastik. Like, for example, Bhagwan is there, but I don't know what actually Bhagwan is. And simply seeing his name and form, I believe in that name and form. I don't believe in the Ratnatray quality of Bhagwan or the Atma ki 47 Shaktiya or the Sachidanand Swarup. That I don't know. So that means I don't believe in this. No, so I'm a Nastik. I may believe in that name, form thing, and I'm stuck up with that. So like that he says, okay. See what he's saying, the words are different, and I'm just trying to give my words so that you are able to go into the text and take out the meaning for yourself. I can't teach you every line of the text. Okay. Yeah. So he says, Kevli Bhagwan are not over here. So Muni ka bhi abhav nahi kaha hai. So do you mean to say that even the right gurus are not here? So Panditji says that if somebody is not here, it doesn't mean that they are not anywhere else in the Bharata Kshetra. But they may be far in between. Their numbers may be very limited, very less. There are Sugurus and they will be there till the end of the 5th Tara. Okay, so they are not here. That doesn't mean that any Tom, Dick and Harry you'll make your guru. You have to be very careful about it. So he says the swans, hunts are not there today. Swans are not there today. And they were there once upon a time. And mostly the swans are there in Mansarovar, where the water and the environment is very pure. And the Hans or swan is famous because it can separate the milk from the water. Right? So a guru is one who can do the Bheda Vigyan and separate the right from the wrong and be on the path of moksha. So if the Hans is not here, that doesn't mean that you should fall in the trap of the crows, the herd of crows, who don't know the difference between the right and wrong like the swan. So this is the analogy he gives over here. Then he says that somebody teaches you ABCD. He gives you learning, he gives you education. So can we tell them as our gurus? So he says, guru, the word guru means bada, great. Okay, so those who give you the school knowledge or some technical education, or somebody has taught you cooking, baking, your parents have taught you so many things. So they are gurus in the social world. But dharma buddhi se guru kaun hota hai? There are so many people from whom you learn so many things. They all can be your gurus. But here they are talking in the moksha marga aspect about a guru. Okay, so यहाँ तो धर्म का अधिकार है, इसलिए धर्म अपेक्षा महंतता संभावित हो उसे गुरु जानो. So from the dharma point of view, whoever is committed to the path of dharma, only they should be considered as guru. So dharma means charitra. Charitra khalu dhammo. So those who are taking to that charitra, not just the charitra, but the samyak charitra, preceded by samyak darshan, samyak gyan, only such people should be taken in as guru. And I spoke to Jayantilal sir once, who is my teacher and mentor and guru, I can say in a way, that should we have a physical guru? Then he would say that in these times, in modern times, you cannot come across an ideal guru who is perfect in all the ways. And if you examine somebody or the other, there will be some flaws in them. Right? So a perfect guru you will see only in the scriptures. A perfect guru you will see only in the scriptures. Very rarely you will come across a person who has all these qualities. And if you take the Shvetamba tradition, there is one very beautiful lesson. We have our Samyaktva ka part, Arihanto Mahadevo ka part, which has been my guiding light. There it says, Arihanto Mahadevo. All the Arhats are my gods. We don't say one particular Arihant is my God. So in Jainism, person worship is never important. It is the personality of Godhood that is worshipped. That is eulogized, that is ideal hota hai. And Susahuno Guruno. Anybody who follows the Sudharma path, all those Susadhus are my gurus. Because I have to learn from them to walk on that path that they are walking. And that path is of ahimsa, sayyam, tap, and renunciation and complete devotion for the pure soul. That is a lesson I have to learn from the gurus. Not simply just catch hold of one guru and say, I am a follower, then nurture your man ka shine. So that is not the way in Jainism. So I have, initially when I was studying Jainism, I would also be in search of an ideal guru, you know. I will surrender to them and take their orders and follow this thing. I kept searching, but I never found. But I found all this knowledge, all these acharyas, all these texts not just Paramagam, out of Paramagam also. So those texts and that knowledge has been my guiding light. And whoever gave me that knowledge, okay, fine. You want to call them guru, you can call them my Pathshala teacher, my university teachers, Jayanti Lal sir. They all, and then if anybody asks me who is my guru, I'll say nobody but the great Kunda Kunda. That's all. Kunda Kunda, I don't know. I feel very, what to say. Somehow I get, I feel I must have been there sometime. And I must not have been on the right track at that time. I must have done all my mistakes over there. So I'm here. So I don't know. I feel a very strong connect. In what form, I don't know. But whenever Kunda Kunda's name is there and his Gatha is there, my eyes just twinkle up, you know. It's that kind of a feeling, you know. So that led me to reading Prakrit and the Prakrit Gathas. And you won't believe it. I'll just show you one thing. I got these 5 books. They are all the 400 plus gathas of Samaysar with their, what to say, grammar, each gatha ka grammar, translation, and everything. So grammatically read the gathas, you know. So I spend all my time doing this work, reading, writing. And when I'm not doing this, I'm just talking to you people. Okay, friends, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you read Prakrit and try to read Kunda Kunda the way he's written things. They are very special to me, you know. Okay. So next he says, so Charitra, so when you follow the Swadhyay and then only you take to Dhyan, and that Dhyan only is real Charitra. Okay, the Dhyan is the real tap. So Charitra is taken up to take to tap. है ना, आत्मा में तपने के लिए चरित्र लिया जाता है, संयम लिया जाता है. Okay, you have to take to prani sayam, indriya sayam, so that you come to atma sayam, and then realize that atma, and then there's a dynamite of Ratnatraya happening over there. Okay, then he says only a nirgranth can be a susadhu. Nobody who's wearing orange color robes or papal ministry and all these things, you know, some Muhammad and all these people who are into parigrah can never be a guru. Only a total nirgrantha. And nirgrantha means who is devoid of 24 types of parigrah. So I'll request you all to read this Jinendra Vandana. Just go to YouTube and Hukam Chandji Bharil ki likhi hui Jinendra Vandana, 24 Tirthankars and 24 Parigrah. He is associated both and written that Vandana. And the 24th Tirthankar Vandana is the He Pani Patri prayer that we all do. He Pani Patri Veerajin Jagako Bataya Apne. So there you see the names of the 24 Parigrah. Okay. So then he says, you should not be greedy for the food that you take from the householder's place. You should not take the food that is cooked for you. That will amount to himsa. So Nirgranth cannot take to himsa. He is an ahimsak. So likewise, he analyzes all that. And then, yeah, he should have Bahya Abhyantar Parigrah Rahit. Nirgranth is a guru. Muni hai, unhi ko guru janna. Who's got no external parigrah, no internal parigrah, even mithyatva is not there, kashai is not there, not an iota of possession is there, completely detached, like a bird he wanders. So only such people are to be taken up as guru. Okay, now then he says, supposing somebody is a king and somebody has got a photo of a king. So that photo cannot be the opponent of the king. But if you don't follow the king, then you are an opponent of the king. In the same way, Arihant Bhagwan are there and you make an image of Arihant Bhagwan. That image is not an opponent of Arihant Bhagwan. But if you don't follow Arihant Bhagwan, Okay, then you cannot be the right Muni. You're an opponent of Aryan Bhagwan. So one who is an opponent of Aryan Bhagwan, how can he be your Guru? How can he be your guide? He's not telling you what Aryan Bhagwan has told. He's not following what Aryan Bhagwan has followed. How can he lead you on the right path? So that way he analyzes that point. Next he says, Shrenik Raja. So he says, even we cannot be perfect Shravak today. So why do you expect Munis to be perfect? This is a question Todarmalji is asking. And for that answer he gives is, Ki Shrenik also was Bhagwan Mahavir Shravak, but he could not follow Sanyam. But he was called Uttam Shravak because of his faith in the tenets of Bhagwan. Right? So in the same way, all the Shravak are not Sarva Vratadhari. They take to vratas according to their capacity. Okay. In the same way, a Muni has taken to all the vratas and he follows a Sanyam. How can he be a Muni Uttam? Shravak ki baat alag hai. Muni ke liye alag hai. So Muni Sangya is there only if you are total Nirgranth. Nobody else. A Shravak can have some, kya bole? His this thing is different. See, Shravak, he's only in a limited area he's working. He's not making an influence or impact in many lives. But when a Muni has become a Muni, he's embraced a social figure, then there are so many people following him. So if he does something wrong, then so many people take to wrong things, then all of them are on the wrong path, then all of them wander in sansar. So the onus is on the Muni to be a good Muni or not to be a Muni at all. Be a householder. You want to do all these projects and social welfare things, you be a grahast and do all these things. Who's stopping? For this, people will say, it is given over here, when we don't take to the Vesh, then nobody follows us. So we have to wear the Vesh and then only people will follow us. So then Panditji says, so you are taking to the Vesh for the Manoranjan of people or for Atmaranjan? So you are cheating Bhagwan's seat where you're sitting. So you are liable for punishment, and that punishment is Nigut. Okay. So, so a Muni should follow the 28 Moola Guna. There should be no Vishay and Kashai in his life. No Mithyatva, no Vishay, no Kashai. He has to be, it is like walking on the razor edge. Lohe ke chane chabane jaisa hai. है ना, मोम के दांतों से लोहे के चबाने जैसा है संयम. It is like you are having tooth made of wax and you have to bite the chickpeas made of iron balls. So when you do that, your tooth only will break if you don't know how to bite them. Right? So it's like that. So then he says, Adinath, so Adinath ke time mein 4,000 kings took 4,000 friends, king friends of Adinath, took Diksha along with Adinath, but they all became brushed. Adinath was a evolved soul. He got Samyak Darshan, Shaikh Samyak Darshan from past life. So he was into meditation, and no Tirthankar preaches before Kevalgyan. He would have taught these 4,000 people the art of meditation. But because he did not have Keval Gyan, he would have referred to some other Tirthankar's messages and taught them. And after he got Keval Gyan, he will not make any reference to any other Tirthankar or Kevali because unka shasan chalta hai. All have to refer to them. So they don't preach before getting Keval Gyan. As a rule, no Tirthankar will, you can say, oh, all these 4,000 Munis took the wrong path. It would have been better if Adinath had taught them and then they all would have taken to that path. But then when he's teaching them, how he'll teach them? that in my past life from these Tirthankars, I got this thing, and so I tell you like this. And after getting Keval Gyan, he will say, I see things in my knowledge, so I tell you like this. So that will, and what he, see, Priya ma'am will say something previous day, the next day she'll come and say something else. Then you will be confused, oh, I should take what she told yesterday or what she's telling today. So that's how things would have percolated in the society, and that would have led to a lot of confusion. So as a rule, no Tirthankar preaches before Keval. So these 4,000 people, they followed things according to their whims and fancies. Okay, understood. So and after Adinath got Keval Gyan and he formed Chaturvid Sangha, these 4,000 people must have come back, but they must not have understood things correctly, and according to their thought patterns, they developed the 363 different schools. जिसको अपन 363 पाखंडी मत बोलते हैं. And we are going to have an endowment lecture on 363 schools of Mithyatva in the month of March. Okay, so if you take to Jina Linga is the Nagna Digambar Linga. You cannot do any other pravartan. That is all. That will amount to some danda. Okay, so Mahapap is talking. Okay, then he says, in my heart of hearts, I have faith in the total Nirgrantapana. But out of fear, out of shame, I'm not able to take up that path. Right? I know that all these things we should not do, but out of compulsion, I have to do all these things. I don't want to say, but I have seen, it really hurts me. But then I analyzed, I spoke to them, and they said, these are all our majburi. Majburi mein hame ye sab karna pada. For example, the Munis do vihar, no? So when they do vihar, there will be truck full of luggage going with them. The choka will go with them, the cooks and the food and everything, So there the food is made, and there the Munis go and do the bhiksha. So it's very difficult. See, I'll tell you one thing. We householders have moved too much into the material world. We live on the 10th floor, 20th floor, 30th floor. We have moved abroad. And where the Munis are, which are rahe hain, nobody to give them the bhiksha. We have failed in our duties. So who is there for them? So they make all these arrangements. And the householders give the money, and the Munis do all these arrangements. Lakhs and lakhs of rupees are spent for the Chaturmas and for all these arrangements. Everybody will have, not everybody, most of them will have their own setups. There was one girl who came to study with me. She was a renunciate, and for 15, 20 years, and 12 years she was in Maun only. She had gone into very severe depression. And her mother and two sisters also had renounced the world. But in the Samaj, not many people were looking into their basic needs and all that. And so this girl, she gave up her path of renunciation. She said, I want to take up a job related to Sanskrit teaching and all that. And I'm going to build a house. And I'm going to have one floor for me and one floor for my mother and for my sisters. And I will look after them when I grow old and when they grow old. I don't trust anybody in the Samaj who will look into their needs. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we have failed in our duties, the Munis have to do all these setups, and then we point fingers at them for which we have no right. If you're pointing one finger to them, see that 3 fingers are pointing towards you. When you do like this, 3 fingers are pointing towards you. See your inner weaknesses. Okay, so that way this goes. Then he says, how does serving all these Kuguru amount to Mithyatva? That is the next question Panditji raises. So you should see the beauty of this text. He himself raises questions and he himself gives answers. And he makes you to think on those lines. So he says, a person who has Tattva Shraddhan and he takes to Guru Seva, how does it amount to Mithyat? So for this he says that a chaste lady who is devoted to her husband, she will not go after other men. She will be honest and sincere to the person whom she is married. In the same way, a person who has got Tattva Shraddhan, he will be sincere to the Sudev and Suguru and Sudharma. He will not go after other people. Okay. So, and another thing he says is, not here, that you should not treat your husband the way you want. First of all, you should not go to other men, and your husband or your spouse also you should not treat in any way. You should have to treat him with dignity. So your Dev, your Guru also, you have to treat them with dignity and not go to other people. And see, going here in means believing. As an acquaintance, you know what they are doing. For example, I went to the Vatican now. I go to a Gurudwara to give lectures over there. I have an interaction with my Muslim students about their gurus. That does not amount to Mithyat. But the more acquaintance you have with them, then you will follow some things that they say. And then it may be that you will give up this path and you will take up that path, and then you'll fall in the trap of Anant Sansar. So that's why he says that wherever Ragadi ka poshan hota hai, those gurus should be shunned. Only the Vitarag Bhav should be worshipped, and those who promote Vitarag Bhav, only they should be acquainted with. Okay. So when you're worshipping, not worshipping, when you are saluting some king or minister, it is out of some greed or material compulsions. But that is not the case with a guru. So, and all these things, just now, whatever we spoke about the Kudev, Kuguru, all this is because of Darshan Mohaniya Uday. Be careful of the Darshan Moha. Correct your understanding first. And Tattva Shraddhan is there, then according to that Tattva Shraddhan only things should be there. So this is the chapter about Kutu. Now we will take to Kudharma. Am I with all of you, dear friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you'll be able to read these portions. Clear? Now, under Kuguru, I'm going to give you 19-20 points, which are given over here. What is Kudharma? First of all, write down 4 definitions of Dharma. Dhammo vathu sahavo. This is from Kartikeya Anupreksha. Prakrit mein I'm reading. Not reading, reciting. One of my favorite gathas. Dhammo vathu sahavo. Khamadi bhavo yadasa viho dhammo. If possible, all of you learn it. Rayanatayam cha dhammo. Jivanam rakhanam dhammo. That means the nature of all substances. Dhammo vattu sahavo. Sahavo means swabhava. Vattu means substance. The nature of all substances is dharma. The dharma of sugar, sweetness. The dharma of coal, blackness. The dharma of water, coolness. Likewise, the dharma of Atma is Janna Dekhna. It's an eternal knower and seer. Atma is Gyata, Drashta, Akarta. That's why all Siddha Bhagwan are not doing anything, they're only knowing and seeing, knowing and seeing. And that is what they're telling us, that you are also like us. Okay, so realize yourself, know yourself, come to yourself, know thyself and liberate yourself. That is the one message that all Siddha Bhagwan and Arhat Bhagwans have, or all the gurus and the dharma is telling us. But simply saying this will not make any sense. You have to explain a little. Okay, so Gyayak Bhav, in Samaysar they say, if you simply say Gyayak, the Mlecha people will simply sit and stare at you. They won't know what is this Gyayak Bhav. So for them, the Vyavhara Bhasha is given and told that, kya bole, Khamadi Bhavo Yad Asa Vihodha. Kshama Adi, Uttama Kshama Adi, 10 Lakshan are your Atma ke Lakshan. Your Atma is characterized by these 10. Kshama, Madha, Vaja, all the Dasalakshan book you read. And when you believe in this Dasalakshan Swarup Atma ka Swabhav, Rayanat Tayam will happen. Ratnatraya Dharma will come. But if you want Ratnatraya and you don't believe in this kind of soul, this Ratnatraya also will not come. So when this Ratnatraya doesn't come, your Jeev ki Raksha doesn't happen. Right? So first, these 3 definitions are for your Atma Raksha. You go to your Atma, get this Ratnatraya and get liberation, get happiness, get enlightenment, everything. And don't come out of your soul. And when you don't come out of your soul, Jivanam Rakhanam happens. You're not harming the 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense. You don't use them, you don't exploit them. Other Jeev ki Raksha happens. But you cannot take to this dharma, but understand that this is the path of enlightenment. This is the path of real happiness. And when you come out of your Atma, you take care to minimize the violence towards other life forms, the least you take from them, and also try to inspire them to come on this path. You be a nimit for that. Right? Then Parajivanam Rakhanam, that is also dharma. When you help others, assist others, and realize that you are only a nimit in doing punya, doing pap, everything, you are only a nimit. Like that, if you understand, then that is real dharma. But if you don't understand this dharma, Ratnatraya dharma, Dasalakshan dharma, Atma Vastu Swabhav dharma, Ahimsa ka limitations, the other day I was listening to one lecture of Pandit Jugal Kishorji, where he said that Ahimsa Adi Mahavrat are Vyavhar Charitra, and they are also not real Atma's nature. Right? They come on the way of moksha. They are all Vyavhar Charitra, but they have to be directed towards the soul. Ahimsa, Satya, Aste, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, they have spiritual implications also and social implications also. But if you take only the social implication and not the spiritual implication, then the Mahavrats also fall short of Moksha Marga. So you'll become a Dravyalingi Muni, but not a Bhavalingi Muni. So that way. So other than that, whatever we do comes under Kudharma. Now, 19-20 points for that as given by Todarmalji. I'll quickly tell you. Can I just take 1 minute break, have some water and come, Miraj Parna tha. So you all can discuss. In the meantime, I'll just come in a minute. Friends, any questions on this topic? We'll take it. Otherwise, I'll just have some food. So I'm sorry. 1 ghanta ho gaya, so I need to take something. Any questions? I can just attend. I can talk to you people. You have any other questions? We can discuss. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question. Through this Parmagam Honor course in last 2 years, I have come across so many Panditji's deliberations and lectures, and it appears I feel I can sense their deep involvement and understanding of Jain philosophy. My question and the doubt that often comes into my mind is, what is stopping them from taking the next stage of Muni Diksha? And what do you think would be the reason?
The same question can apply to me also, right?
Yeah.
What can I say? Don't you think we would have thought about this?
I'm sure you would have, but my only thing is that whether this kind of Ku Dharma and Ku Guru kind of practices that are happening, are they in a way stopping righteous or rightly directed people to take that next step?
Okay. I would like to give 1, 2, 3 answers for this.
Sure.
If you want, you can note down. First of all, reading this deep philosophy, we come to understand that we have not got Samyak Darshan. Right? We have not got Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan. So Anantanubandhi Kashai is not checked. Our tolerance level is not so high. Our endurance level, which is expected for a Muni, that is not there in us. So all the 3 things we are lacking. We don't have Samyak Darshan, we don't have Samyak Gyan, and our this thing for Tap and Charitra is also not there in place. We are working towards that. So it is not important that you have to follow Diksha for thousands of years. 48 minutes Diksha is enough. 48 minutes ki Samayik Antar Muhurat mein you can get Keval Gyan. So many people have asked this question to me, and I say that within 48 minutes, if I get Keval Gyan, okay, then I'm ready for Diksha. If I don't see that Keval Gyan, for which I have to take the Diksha, then that preparation for the Diksha, I'll sit at home and do. This is my approach to the whole issue. Other Pandits may give you many answers, but the crux is this, that abhi Samyak Darshan ka hi pata nahi hai. So how the Charitra can be practiced so beautifully, which is expected of us for Moksha Marga.
Yeah.
Then it will be a cheating.
Right.
So that Maya Kashai has to be checked first. Right? And you should not take to that path and do Maya Chari.
Yeah.
So those thoughts, when you read the scriptures so deeply, they stop you from taking any kind of Diksha. Rather, they prepare you to keep researching on truth so that you prepare yourself for that Diksha. And in 1, 2, 3 lives of perfect Diksha, you become worthy of Keval Gyan.
Right.
So that is one thing. Yeah. Yeah. Good question. I appreciate you for that. Anybody else?
Ma'am, so the liberation can occur only if the Diksha is taken. It can be occur from the household part also.
See, anybody can go through depression. A millionaire can go through, a celebrity can go through, a child can go through, a woman, householder, a sadhu, anybody can fall in the trap of depression. Because of social media and other thing, the wall of expectations that you put around you becomes so high and you're trapped inside and you don't find a way out to fulfill your expectations. So it's all darkness inside. That is when you go into depression. Right?
But I'm talking about liberation. Liberation occur through the only if we take Diksha, or it can happen.
Okay. Yeah. According to Jainism, the Shvetamba tradition tells you about the 14 types of Siddha Bhagwan. Strilinga Siddha, Purushlinga Siddha, Napumsaklinga Siddha, Grihasthalinga Siddha. You know? But according to the Gamba tradition, there cannot be Diksha without renunciation. And there cannot be Diksha with any and every kind of renunciation. So renunciation comes under Charitra, but that Charitra should be Samyak. And it will be Samyak only when Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan is there. So there is no Nirvan without Nirgranthood.
Okay.
And I believe in this, yes. With even an iota of Parigraha is there, that will pull you down. You cannot take the flight to enlightenment.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody else? Quickly, you can ask.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at since the last couple of years, since we've been learning from you. You have this activity, so much of activity. You are trying to help as many people as possible. Also trying to learn from various things. When is the time? Do you really get time to do Swa Anubhuti, or do you think you are all the time trying to look at things that are external? Do you get the time to internalize all your learnings? Just wanted to check on that.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
There are again 1, 2, 3 answers for this.
Yeah.
Of course, I do my meditation. I do my Swadhyay. That is in place right from my childhood. Okay. And I'm always internalizing things. As I'm talking to you also, my belief system is that I'm not the one who is talking. I'm only a knower and seer. That is rock solid faith that I've implanted in me, that Atma or I, eternally, I'm a knower and seer and akarta. I'm not doing anything. And I don't expect anything from anybody. And I don't ignore anybody. I give everybody their due respect. Uday mein, whatever comes in my Uday, try to be Sahaj. Okay. And there are a lot of things that always, 365 days, 24/7, I'm contemplating. And there are so many thoughts that keep coming. And then again, I try to be a knower and seer of that. You won't believe, yesterday I was, it was my Upvas and Saturday, and there were no classes in the morning. So I just stood in meditation for half an hour, and I really enjoyed it. I just stood that Khadgasana. I could do it for half an hour. I do generally Padmasana. I do my yoga, pranayam, asana, everything. And in that, I do my Kai Gupti, Vachan Gupti, and I try to do the Mano Gupti. And I try to practice what is there. That is my first priority, my duty towards myself. And of course, being a professor in the Jainism and having committed to Parmagam groups and Prakrit learning, I do my job very sincerely over there. It's a role that I play. And if somebody says you have to stop all this and take Samadhi, take Sarlekhana, anything is there, I should be ready for that also. So that is a mindset that I have got right now.
So if we have to really progress towards Munipana, over a period of time, do you think it's a prerequisite to cut down on the number of activities that we're doing?
First of all, Tattva Gyan.
Sure.
First of all, Tattva Gyan, Tattva Shraddhan. And then Maryadit Jivan. Limit all your material aspirations, limit them. You cannot give them up altogether. But if you feel you're in that stage where your children, you have done all your material duties, you can give up. That time only you take the plunge, not otherwise. Don't regret once you've taken the plunge. And I would tell that go to Pandit Sumat Prakash Ji, 2 years you spend over there with him. Learn that Sanyam ka path. Follow the partial brahmacharya or whatever it is, and then see if your body, your mind is ready for that path. Take some training. How a soldier takes a training, how a corporate person takes training, you also take some training and then take a call. Is that your calling or not? Go
Sure.
and spend some time with these ideal people who are into the spiritual path. One is Pandit Ravindra Bhai and one is Pandit Sumat Prakash. They will very happily serve you. And in fact, they told Sumat Prakash ji also that you come here, we will help you with your samadhi. And both of them are very careful about health related issues also. Nature cure and Ayurveda and all these things also. So I thought when I retire in 2027, I'm going to give it a try. And even before that, let me give it a try. But I don't know whether I will fit there or those their kind of things will fit into my kind of things, and all those things are there.
Thanks, ma'am.
You should, anybody, you should first see they have the Tattva Gyan. They can take you deep into Tattva Gyan and Atmanubhav and help you in the basic way of Sanyam also. Okay, got it? Chal. I'll come in a minute. Yeah. So there I have just come. So Kudharma ke related 19-20 points are there in these 3 pages. I'll quickly do them. First one, dharma means there are at least 3,000 definitions for dharma. जो आपको दुर्गति में जाने से बचाए वो धर्म, सुगति में ले जाए वो धर्म, आत्म अनुभव इस धर्म. But here कुधर्म की बात हो रही है. So any dharma, I'll stick to that word dharma itself, loosely translated as religion. Okay, but you should not mix it up with religion. Any practice that takes you to 5 paap is kudharma. Hinsa adi 5 paap are kudharma. Vishaya kashaya vriddhi, that which promotes 5 sense pleasures and kashai is paap, is kudharma. For example, you go to the temple and there you're clapping hands and you're dancing and you're enjoying the music. So you're nurturing rag, you're nurturing vishay. Rag is kashai. So that is kudharma. Next is yagya adi kriya. Yagya, havan, all these cannot happen without paap. So all that is kudharma. Killing of macroorganisms. For example, you're taking milk, and milk comes from the dairy farm, and dairy farm involves so much of violence. So that also comes under paap. And taking to Raudra Dhyan, having a dushta buddhi of hurting somebody, demeaning somebody, pulling down somebody, putting down somebody, mocking at somebody, that dushta buddhi, trying to promote your religion by killing people, that buddhi, Raudra Dhyani. You know what is Raudra Dhyan? Hinsa Nandi, Mrusha Nandi, Chaurya Nandi, Parigraha Nandi is all Raudra Dhyan. You may be a multimillionaire, but you're too proud of it. What to say? You're very happy about being a millionaire. That happiness is Raudra Dhyan. You may be a millionaire, that is not kudharma. But when you associate happiness with that being a millionaire, then that is kudharma. Clear? Being a millionaire is not wrong, but associating happiness with it is wrong. A Chakravarti also kills so many people on the battlefield, but he does not associate happiness with it. So he is a Samyak Drishti. Okay, so if you associate happiness with buying a new set of clothes, and you may eat good food, but you're very delighted about it, aha, oho, then that is Raudra Dhyan. परिग्रह में आनंद आता है. Oh, I have a palatial house, I have a beautiful garden, I have a beautiful family, all my children are well settled, and you take delight in it. That is Raudra Dhyan. And that is Pap, that is Kudharma. Tivra lobh, intense greed, desire, exploitation, and you want to apna ullu seedha karna chahte at the cost of others. So that is all Kudharma. Next one, going to Tirtha places and doing all the rituals and doing the snan adi, and that's all dharma ho gaya. That is also Kudharma. Okay? Then taking to all these Sankranti, Grahan, Navagraha, and all these things, you know, then giving charity. And like Bhagwan has renounced everything, and you're trying to decorate Bhagwan's idols with all diamonds and all gold, silver, and all these things. All that amounts to Kudharma. Okay, giving elephants and horses and grains and giving all these dan and having all these bhojanshalas and everything, but not knowing the idea behind them, all amounts to Kudharma. Then out of fear, out of greed, you do all this Navagraha Puja and you go to Jyotish and all these things. So all that amounts to Kudharma. Here, very beautifully in Rayanasar, there is one Gatha. Gatha number 26, page number 188. Supurisanam danam kappatarunam palanam sohamba. Lohinam danam dai vimana soha sabbasa janeha. Supurisana danam, giving dan to Satpurush. It is like the Kalpataru Phala. It is like the fruit of a Kalpa Vraksha. Okay. It will give Shobha also and happiness also. But if you give dan propelled by greed and to greedy people, it is like decorating a dead body with all the ornaments and all that. No fruit it will eat. Okay. So like that, we have to understand Mahapap. Next he says, there are people who do Rati Dan. Rati Danadik mein punya mante. Like getting couples married, mass marriages, matrimonial sites. Okay. Okay. So these can be social compulsions. Having matrimonial sites, recommending boy, girl, all those days they used to do, no? In a village, if there are people, then there will be one important person who will recommend boys and girls and their families would settle down. But these days we don't have well-wishers at the community level and village level, in whatever community level. So we have to go to the matrimonial sites for alliance for our children. So these are our modern day compulsions. But running a matrimonial site and considering it as dharma is wrong. Oh, dharma ho gaya, I've done so much of punya. I conducted so many eye camps, blood camps, and I am running a cloth bank, book bank. All these are your social commitments. Don't associate dharma with them. If you associate, then it is Kudharma. That activity is not Kudharma. You associating the right dharma with these punya activities is dharma. Is Kudharma. Am I loud and clear, friends?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. So then he says that Daya Dan should be given only to Patra and not to Kupatra. For example, in our Friday's class, we were having a long discussion on whether organ donation should be done or not. Eye donation should be done or not. To whom should they be given? Supposing my eyes I donate and it goes to a Muslim and he's only going to terrorize people, read the Quran and interpret in the wrong way and terrorize people. So he's misusing my eyes. If I give my organs to a non-vegetarian person, he's going to take that and digest only the non-vegetarian food. So if you want to do organ donation, eye donation, you should give the conditions applied that he should be a vegetarian. He should not be into terror activities. He should not be into violent activities. Then it's okay. You can't say he should be a Samyak Drishti. How will the doctor go and search who is Samyak Drishti by the time the eye would have been given to somebody? So these kind of things. And it is written in Jainendra Siddhant Kosh that if you give dan to Kupatra, Kupatra means, for example, a person will take the money and he'll be going and taking to drugs and drinks and cigarette and all that. There are so many beggars who are multimillionaires. Right? All this news keeps coming on WhatsApp and social media and all that. So once a beggar died and they discovered so much of property from him. So like, in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, I have seen the government builds housing boards, and they give the houses to the poor people. But these poor people are so used to living on the footpath and all that, they cannot live in those houses and they rent it out. It's like that, So giving my wealth. So initially, even I used to give koi bhi hota daan deti. Lekin abhi main dekhti hu ki majority of the people who are begging are Muslims. So you're strengthening their community, and they are going to attack your community tomorrow. So I've stopped giving to them. I have other ways of giving it, and I do it. Okay, and chalo. So when you take to Vratadi means all the vratas and Sayam activities. In that, no hinsa and no Vishay Sevan should be promoted. I'll give you one small example. I have done this Aimbil Oli. 14 times I've done Varnaki without salt, and 14 times I've done ordinary with that upar senda namak kali mirch. And I realized that doing Varnaki is much, much, much better than doing this. There will be 50, 100 items for the Aimbil. And I see people there eating so much, and spoiling their health. And they feel they are doing dharma, but they are doing, what to say, so much of diseases they are inviting. So physical level में ही आपका धर्म ठीक नहीं है, तो spiritual level में ठीक करने के लिए तो बहुत पुरुषार्थ करना पड़ता है. So lot of these things I have seen. So Kandamool Adi, all these things are there. Swad Adi. See, you have to eat food, it's okay, but don't eat for taste. And second thing is, if you have to eat, chew it 32 times. Add the saliva, eat meditatively. I do all these practices. I will sit, I will eat meditatively, slowly and steadily. As I'm eating, I'm meditating. As I'm meditating, if the thought of eating comes, I remain a Gyata Dishta. All these kind of things you have to practice. Okay, so people take to gambling and all these sapta vyasan in the name of dharma, charas, ganja, bhang, and all these addictions and all these things all amounts to pap. Then people take to bhakti. I just now told bhakti, dance, drama, everything they do, and they nurture rag, and they feel they have done dharma. That is wrong. There are many people who torture their physical bodies, like piercing here, piercing there in the name of dharma. So they do this Panchagni Tapa. Parshnath Bhagwan's own grandfather, he was a tapas. He was doing the Panchagni Tapa. So people walking on fire, and people doing so many things happen, So then doing pranayam and taking it as dharma. See, pranayam you do. See, this is a very tricky subject. You do pranayam, and as you do pranayam, you try to be with the Gyata Dashtava. Right? But simply doing pranayam and keeping your body fit and you consider it as Atma Dharma is wrong. Kayotsarga means you have to fix your concentration somewhere initially. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Dharana means fixing the object of meditation. So your breath can be the initial point tool that you have to sharpen to go to the deeper meditation, to be steady in the Gyayak Bhav, the Paramparinami Bhav. But simply doing the pranayam and thinking that you have done dharma is totally wrong. Okay. So in the same way, all this Priksha Dhyan things, colors and Leshya meditation, color meditation, chakra meditation, initially you can take them, but ultimately your object of meditation is a Paramparinamika. That should be clear. If that clarity is not there, you take to any and every kind of practice amounts to Kudharma. Clear, but once you have set your objective right, and to achieve that objective, you go through your concentration on breath, concentration on chakras, and then you transcend them. That is okay. Is it clear? So all these things are given in Dhavala also, all kinds of dhatus and everything, you know. So you have to add your saliva to the food you eat, then all the other dhatus will become strong. So you're supposed to chew your food 32 times and not just eat and gulp and keep your mind wandering here and there. That is not the way of Ishna Samiti. Okay, so likewise. And then those who want to be munis and all, know, you should read this book, Chalte Firte Siddhon Se Guru. Chalte Firte Siddhon Se Guru. A very beautiful book. If I get it, I'll send you the photo of the cover page. So very beautiful books, you know. Who is an ideal guru? So what you should do when you become a guru. From the Nishchay point of view, from Vyavahar point of view, everything is given over there. The Samiti, Gupti, everything is a 28 Mool Gun, everything is analyzed from a spiritual point of view. Okay, yeah. Then taking to Kashai and all that is done. Then there are people who are not able to endure things in this material world, and they have desire for Parlok, Ishta. Okay, just like for example, somebody's husband has died and that lady takes to Sati. So all these kind of things amount to Kudharma. There is no dharma in that. Okay, so then he says Jain dharma mein Kudharma ki pravritti ho gayi hai Kal dosh se. Because of the Kali Kala we are in, Jain mat mein bhi dharma Parv kahe gaye hain. All our festivals are for renunciation, for tap tyag. But these days, festival days are becoming feasting days. So much of Adambar for Akshay Tritiya, for Paryushan, Parna, and all these things, you know, happening. So I decided that for my Varshita Parna, I'm not going to do anything. It will be like my any other routine Parna day. So I'm not into all these things. So yeah, first of all, I have not done Varshitap like Adinath Bhagwan for 1 full year that I have to do Parna with Ikshuras. I have done only alternate days fasting and I have to do 1 more year. So I'm going to take 1 year break and then again do 1 more year. According to my Shakti Praman only I can do. I cannot blindly emulate the Tirthankars. They had the Vajra Rishabh Narad Sahanan. That was the 4th Ara. They could do it. According to my Shakti, I will go. But for me, again, Upvas. Upa means near. Vasa means to be. So every day Upvasas, I should try to be near my Paramparinamik Bhav. And not simply give up food and just, okay, Upvas ho gaya, Dharam ho gaya. No. That clarity should be in us. Okay? Yeah. Then he says, Punya samo mein paap ka ansh dosh ke arth nahi hai. You are doing lot of punya activities. And if little paap it happens, then it's okay. But you're doing lot of paap activities and little punya you're getting, then those activities should not be taken up. That's what he says. Then doing all this kukatha, gossiping in the name of religion, criticizing people, all that amounts to kudharma. So Jain dharma is vitaraga dharma. Where this vitaragta is not there. So supposing 10 people are sitting and gossiping about some munis or some people, then from there you should get up and go away. And not be party to all that gossip and criticize and increase your rag dvesh. It will amount to kudharma. So then he says how all this kudharma is mithyatva bhav. So here he says on page number 191 that first of all, tattva shraddhan we do so that we understand the Gyayak bhav and separate it from Raga bhav. For that, the Tattva Gyan and Tattva Shraddhan has to be done. So, but if you take the Tattva Shraddhan and increase your Ragadi bhav, oh, I know so much, they don't know this, I believe in this, they believe in that. So you are nurturing Rag and Kashai, then that person may be liberated before you and you will remain over here. Okay, so then where is the Tattva Shraddha? If you're thinking like this, and then your Tattva Shraddha is not in its place. So it is against the Jinagya. Then the fruit of that is Ananta Sansar or Nigodh. Okay, then he says that out of Lajja, or just because my parents are telling, out of some compulsions, out of fear, out of man, if you worship the Kudev, Kuguru, and Kulinga and all that, it is Mithyatva. So first and foremost, you have to give up Mithyatva. On page number 192, Panditji says that in Jainism, we have to understand that first we have to give up the biggest path, that is Mithya Shraddhan, related to 7 tattvas, Kudev, Kuguru, Kudharma, everything. Then the small path we can give up. So first, he's telling that Mithyatva is a greater sin than taking to the 7 Vyasanas. 7 कुव्यसन से भी बड़ा पाप मिथ्यात्व का है. तो पहले बड़ा पाप छोड़ो और फिर छोटे छोटे पाप छुड़ाया. Okay, then he talks about the 25 mala of Samyaktva, which is given in the last chapter of this book. You can take to page number 339. As Panditji was about to elaborate on these 25, he was about to start the lesson on Samyak Darshan. That sentence, that word is also not complete. He was taken away by the people and he was trampled under the elephant's legs. Thank you. Thank you. समझ में आया? तो 8 kinds of Shanka Adi, Shanka, opposite of Nishanka, है ना? Nirvichikitsa, all that we will study in Purusharth Siddhyupaya next year. 8 types of pride. Go and read page number 51 of Ratnakaran Shravakachar. And then 3 types of Mudata, Shat, Anayatan, all these comes to the 25 Mala of Samyak Darshan. And in the Shvetamba tradition, we have 67 points of Samyak, Samkit ke 67 बोल. वो भी बहुत अच्छा पढ़ने लायक है, तो वो भी आप लोग सब देख सकते हैं. So here he is telling that first we have to give up these Kudev, this Mithyatva related to this. Then he says in the last, that if somebody criticizes me, let them criticize. If somebody is praising me, let them praise. If wealth is to come, let it come. If wealth is to go, let it go. If death is to come today or tomorrow or after hundreds of years, let it be so. But a person who is committed to the path of righteousness, he should not deviate from that path. Come what may. This is told in the Niti Shatak. In Sanskrit, it is given over there. So this is how he says that Dev, Guru, Dharma are the Sarvotkrishta Padartha. And when you believe in them, the path, you are on the path of Dharma. So there should not be any laxities in their understanding and in taking to them. So if you really desire your welfare, don't fall in the trap of Kudev, Kuguru and Kudharma. So that is the summary of this lesson, which we have done it in 3 or 4 classes. Okay, so now the floor is open for discussion and for your Gandhar. And next week, I'll request you all to study chapter 8 and come. We have 6th and 8th in this semester, I think. 7th, we will be doing in the next semester or next year. Clear?
Ma'am, next week I'm planning to go this movie, ma'am.
So next week we'll take an off or we will reschedule the class.
If reschedule is better, I think.
We can do
How are you? How are you deciding?
7 to 8 we'll do 1 hour class.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
And then 8 o'clock you all can go for the movie.
Better, ma'am.
What movie is this, ma'am?
The movie is about Bahubali, Gomatesh.
Okay.
There's a public screening of it happening in Chennai, and
Right.
it is sponsored by the Akhil Bharatiya Digambar Mahasabha, Chennai chapter. So
Right.
they are doing it. So even I wanted to go, but then I thought there's a class, so how will I go? So nice that you raised this topic, Ram sir. So we can schedule the class from 7 to 8 in the morning and then go for the movie.
Yeah, I'll meet you there, ma'am.
I have to book my ticket in that case. Vimal Sethi is known to me, so I can just request him. If there is seat, I will come. If there's no seat, if it's full, then I cannot. Okay, so all of you read chapter 8 and try to come.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
My question is that in this particular chapter, Pandit ji has often quoted women and their chastity as object to prove a point. Is it indicative of the life or the dignity of women at that point of time, or why would he have used this kind of example?
Yeah. So very, very nicely you have asked this question. I should appreciate you for that. First
Thank
of all,
you.
I would like to give 1, 2, 3 answers for this. At the time of the 22 Tirthankars, there was only this 4 Mahavrat Dharma. That is the Chaturyama Dharma. The 4th vow of Brahmacharya was not pronounced separately. It was included under Aparigraha. So when they said Aparigraha, they understood that you should not take to women Parigraha also. So Brahmacharya came under Parigraha and Brahmacharya came under Aparigraha. So generally, you take Aristotle's literature, Arastu and I think even Plato. They have told that women are commodities. They are like your clothes. You want them, you take, otherwise you don't discard them. And if you take Ramcharitmanas, in that you had some issue recently also, no? Shudra Gamar Dhor Pashu Arunari, ye sab hai tadan ke adhikari. So Shudra means an underprivileged, Gamar means an illiterate, Pashu means an animal, and Shudra Gamar Dhor means who knows nothing, and Nari, ye sab hai tadan ke adhikari. Tadan ka matlab hai dur rakhna. So that doesn't mean, I have read the Ramcharitmanas when I did my BA Hindi literature, and there, Nari here does not refer to the physical Nari, but it refers to the idea of ignorance and illiteracy and the dhorpana in you and the asakti that you have for Nari. That and all should be kept at bay if you want to progress on the path of devotion and liberation. So here Nari is symbolic of the temptations that you have for all the 5 sensations, right? So in that context, they use the word Nari again and again. Sab bhogya vastu ko bhogya mat treat karo, usko bhi dignity se treat karo.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Anybody else? You can do your Gandhar, otherwise.
Sure. Yep.
First of all, can I have response from 3 people about this lesson? Are you all comfortable taking this lesson the way I have taken it for you?
Yes, ma'am. Very comfortable, and I think you give a very clear. You give very decent clarity about Kudharma and Kuguru. Probably we should be in a position to do some kind of course correction after this learning. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Chal. Yes, anybody else who would like to record their response, you're welcome. Can I have one word from each one of you? Itna ek thanks to banta hai teacher ke liye.
Ma'am, really, the class is very good there. Now only I came to this Panchakalyan and all, they're doing lavishly, they are spending a lot of decoration and all, and I came to know that it's all Guru and all, no? As per your version, I got the clarity, ma'am.
Please promote good things in society.
Ma'am.
People, if I say they won't accept, no, ma'am, that's the problem with them.
Mm,
In
you have
each
to
and
be
every
careful.
Panchakalyan, they're spending lakhs and lakhs of rupees.
Mm. Yes, and then we come in the eyes of the people who don't have this money, and then they pull our heritage down. All those
True.
things will happen. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Ma'am, similarity between you and Sanjeev ji, what I realize is both of you all have done so much of research. You all have so much of knowledge, immense knowledge, but saying you and Sanjeev ji so down to earth, so simple, and you all don't teach with the terminology. You all just come down to, I think my level, I think I can relate. I don't know about others. You'll come down to a common man like me. And
Yes,
any
I agree
recording,
with
whether it is Priya ma'am's or Sanjeev ji, anybody, I think, be it a Jain, if they come from Jain community or anybody, even a child, if they open the video and listen to the lecture, I'm sure they'll understand what you are talking. So this is very, very difficult to find. There are immense videos from Mara Sahib and everybody, but I think why you, Priya ma'am and Sanjeev ji are famous is because you talk our language, which is so simple.
Don't equate me with Sanjeev ji. He's miles
He is,
apart.
yes,
We are
ma'am.
all
And
small soldiers.
ma'am, at this
With
age,
nothing.
and I think I know you from so many years, what have your, from 35 years, 40 years, at this age, what you all have achieved, I think even in Char Janam, maybe people cannot achieve what you all have achieved, according to me. And like how when you hear about Kunda Kunda Acharya and you feel there's some connection, I think the day one when I joined into MA Genealogy 17 years back, though I was not in touch with you for 15 years, but anytime, every time, kaun hai guru? Priya ma'am is my guru, and I have some bonding with you, maybe Purva Janam ka. And when I hear your name, it's like, and you hear your mom's name, वो मन प्रफुल्लित होता है. वैसे प्रिया मैम बोलते हाँ हमारे गुरु है, हमारे गुरु है. तो आप साता में रहिए, and I think Sanjeev ji is that light that is within us, जो एक जगह है. I wish that जो उन्होंने चाहा था that वो we should continue within us. So आप भी साता में रहिए ma'am. We just fasting and doing everything. Maybe he did not have time for his physical body and he couldn't take care. We wish that no आगे कभी किसी के साथ ऐसा ना हो. बाकी
Yes.
कर्म का उदय जो भी है. But it's a great loss. It's a great loss. आप
Yes.
please साता में रहिए ma'am and keep
Thank
inspiring
you.
us. Keep
Thank you,
inspiring us.
Aarti. Thank you, Aarti. I feel so humbled, but then वो एक पुनीत आत्मा थी. I
Yes,
feel
ma'am.
for Sanjeev ji Godha कि in one lifetime you cannot be Sanjeev ji Godha. He
Correct.
must have been on a journey from his past life, and this was like a stopover for him.
Yes, ma'am.
यहाँ से वो बहुत सारा पुण्य लेकर के गए हैं और आगे जाकर के वो पुण्य को भी खत्म करके वो मोक्ष मार्ग में आगे बढ़ेंगे. So
Correct.
definitely it's going to a better place. Yeah. So
और आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. No, words cannot express how grateful we are to you. Maybe we fall short.
Thank you for all these words, but I'm humbled, and yes, I will take care. And thank you for asking my Sata.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Jai Jinendra, ma'am.
Yes. See my Nariyal Pani wala. So this is how I take care of myself. I'm thankful to my naturopathy teacher for taking care of my body, and my acharyas and my sir for taking care of my soul. I do nothing. I just enjoy life.
Ma'am, और
Next
आपने
is-
कहा ना कि we can go to Sumant Prakash ji if at all we are really interested 2 years go learn. But I think, ma'am, in our Shwetambar tradition, when you talk about Paramagam itself, it's a big no from everybody, be it from people around us or be it Gurudev Marasa also. When you talk about Paramagam, it's a big no from their side. I don't understand.
I don't get you.
Ma'am, when we talk about Paramagam to anybody, be it in amongst the fellow men or from Mara Sahib, I don't know why they feel it's a big no. We shouldn't go ahead with Paramagam honors and
Yes,
shouldn't follow all
they
this
don't know what
tradition.
is Paramagam all about. They feel
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
all Digambar thing and you all will get converted to Digambar. You will leave all Kriya Kand.
Mm,
Rather, you will take it in the right way. We are not telling you to leave anything.
correct.
We are
ma'am.
only telling you to take it in the right spirit, the right way. So there are people who come and tell me they are scared of us.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
They are scared of this knowledge. So unka time nahi aaya hai. We can only pity them.
Yeah.
We can only wish good for them.
Correct.
No criticizing them, no ill feeling for them. And they come and tell me that you are into Digambar thing and all that. I said, I'm teaching Acharan Sutra in the university for the past 25 years. We teach Uttaradhyan Sutra, we teach Dashvekalik Sutra, we teach Upasang, we teach all the 45 Agam. Nobody does the Shwetambar thing the way we do it at the university level. And then, you know what, people, in Friday's batch, there was one student who said, after reading the Shwetambar thing and Digambar thing, I understand that this is the one that will give me the right thing. We are not telling people, people are telling us. Those who come to this, वो इसका हो जाता है, उनको डर लगती है, उनका वो छूट जाए, इसलिए वो डरते हैं इससे.
True.
है कि नहीं? इसलिए उनका सही टाइम ना आए. तो हम उनके लिए कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. We can only help them, those who are ready to sit here and help them. अगर मैं कुछ कर सकती तो मैं सबका कर देती ना, बट मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकती हूँ. आर्यन भगवान भी नहीं कर सकते, अपन अकर्ता है. निमित्त उपादान है, अपन सब निमित्त बन सकते हैं. उनका उपादान रेडी नहीं है. We cannot be. So it's okay. मेरा अशुभ कर्म का उदय, वो मेरी निंदा करते हैं. I take it in my stride. मेरा कर्म का उदय ऐसा नहीं होता तो वो क्यों मेरी निंदा करते? मेरे तो बहुत अशुभ कर्म है ना, तो वो मेरे कर्म का उदय वो सब से करवाता है. So okay, no problem. I take it. I have got lot of criticism. I'll tell you one thing. I have been into lot of Sangh and I saw the negativities over there and I left them. Left them in the sense I've come out of it. So they feel insulted and all that. I cannot do anything about it. I cannot do anything about it. So hu kahin gachma nati, hu atma ma chu, bas khatam baat. And they want us to be in their gach, which I cannot be. So they have nothing else to do but to criticize. Okay, let them. Each one his own. I'm happy. I'm happy. See, they have detached from me. So I have got more time to attach with the right things. So they don't disturb me in any way. They may be talking behind my back or anything. Let them do what they want. They have, everybody has right to their opinion. मैं किस का मुंह पकड़ूं? So I know my principles. I know what I'm doing. गलतियां सबसे होती है, किससे नहीं होती है. So to err is human, but you have to keep forgiving and keep marching ahead, and not simply take a grudge. उसने ऐसा किया, ऐसा किया. I used to, but my husband has taught me, don't think of the past. Think of the present. Think of the future. That's all. So my husband is a great guru at home, and together we march. He's also doing his weekly once upvas and swadhyay and samayik. I also do, and we don't interfere in anybody's life. I have no social life as such, only my spiritual life, my student life, my extended community, and my parents. I take care of them, my daughter, and all that. And whoever wants me, I'm there for them. किसी को समाधि कराना है, किसी को कुछ help चाहिए, a phone call. I'm just a phone call away. But Samaj doesn't understand, because in the Samaj there are many trustees, many trusts, and they want you to promote their activities. And my platform is a spiritual platform, and on that spiritual platform, I don't promote their material social activities. So they don't connect with this. I don't connect with them. And the other day, there was a very beautiful WhatsApp. As you go higher and higher, taap badhega. As you go closer to the sun, the heat of the sun, your endurance shakti should increase. So when that doesn't increase and I react, then I feel, I'm not angry. I feel that correction has to be done here and not there. That is how I look at things. Okay. Yeah. So yes, Saurabh sir, Thank you, Aarti. This is not a
Yes.
news at all to me. I have grown up with this.
Yes.
I've grown up with this.
Yes, ma'am. And
Yes.
I'm very, very happy that I stood with my decision to continue with Paramagam. The first day when I joined itself, I had people around telling no. And I'm happy because mera punya ka kuch acha bal hoga that I'm still continuing, and I wish to finish the 10th semester.
See, one of my students came and told that Guru Maharaj are telling her, don't study at MA University because wrong things she's teaching over there. Then she told the teacher, the Guru Maharaj, I've been studying there for 1 year and nothing wrong she has taught me so far. The day she teaches me, I will come and tell. And that girl is teaching all thokadas to all the MA Jainology people. Gati, Agati, Lagu Dandak. And she is doing a wonderful dissertation translating Lagu Dandak. So we do a lot of integration. Shwetambar, Digambar, ancient, modern, Jainism. Then only you get a correct picture.
Yes.
Your body, mind, soul, and the path.
What's her name, ma'am?
Her name is Smita from Uttar Merur.
अच्छा.
उत्तर मेरूर की है वो, है ना? तो उसको अपने ज्ञान गज के साधु लोग बोले हैं कि प्रिया मैम के पास नहीं पढ़ना.
हाँ, मुझे भी.
I'm Gyan Gaj ki bau, you know. I'm Gyan Gaj ki bau, and I've served the Gyan Gaj for 20 years, and still I get this.
Even Hiramuni Maharaj, maybe that is what they told me. Don't do Paramagam.
Because I'll tell you the reason. उनके कुछ साधु संत हैं जो श्रीमद का पढ़ करके दीक्षा छोड़ दिए. इसलिए they are scared कि आप उनको छोड़ दोगे. और एक बात बोलूं, चौकापेट में एक मंडल है, वो पूरे मतलब रत्नवंश को फॉलो करते थे, और अभी वहां पे कोई है जो उनको पूरा कुंद कुंद कांजी स्वामी का मेडिटेशन पूरा, वो कहते हैं कि ये दिगंबर स्वाध्याय भी मत करो, सिर्फ मेडिटेशन करो. तो वो लोग सब वो रत्नवंश को छोड़ दिए. यू अंडरस्टैंड? इसलिए वो लोग डरते हैं कि आप ये पढ़ोगे तो आप उनको सब छोड़ दोगे, इसलिए वो बोलते हैं.
करेक्ट.
है कि नहीं?
Doing so now they are inspired and they're willing to join the next semester. कि नहीं what they were told वैसा नहीं हो रहा है. I am they can see change in me, not completely. So they are like, नहीं, we should continue doing Paramagam. So they are willing to join in the next few semesters.
Then there are a few Therapanthi ladies in my Friday batch. They joined and then somebody told them, don't do this. They left it and again they joined and now they are very steady with it. They have not left their Therapanthi fold. In fact, you will serve them with better energy and better conviction. Who is asking you to detach from your roots? But you should have the right understanding of things. I never tell anybody to give up their sampradaya. Sampradaya is a vyavastha, but don't be into sampradaya vad. As a social animal, you have to be in a group. But with what energy, what conviction, what beliefs you work, that is important. We are working only on that path. And they feel, जैसे अपने को डर लगता है मिथ्यात्व छूट जाएगा, कषाय छूट जाएगा, वो डर के कारण they do all these things. तो उसका इलाज तो प्रिया मैम नहीं, उनका ही build-up है, तो I cannot do it. I'll tell you one thing, if there are no students in the department and no Paramagam students also, I will be happy. And if there are 100,000 also, I'll have the same amount of happiness. Because my happiness is not dependent on the department students and the Paramagam students. My happiness is dependent on the Tattva Gyan that I follow and the Tattva Shraddhan that I follow. And not on anybody else or anything else. So I don't feel sad when people criticize me or rebuke me or insult me. I take it very happily. Initially, I would cry and sulk and feel bad about it, but now I have come out of it. I've come out, and that is all again thanks to this Tattva Gyan. Yes, the more people criticize me, the more I am motivated to go on the right path. I always remember this gatha, you know, Nindak niyare rakhiye, Angan kutiya chhawai, bin pani bin sabun bina, mail sagaroja. This Kavi, he very beautiful says, keep your criticizers, make a small house for them and keep them near you. Without soap, without water, they'll remove all your dirt.
Well said.
Very true.
Yes, I will always keep them close to me. See, when I make any mistake, I don't mind calling them up and telling, hey, sorry, I was sorry, I'm sorry. Yes. Yes, dear.
Okay,
Anybody
ma'am.
else with Saurabh, sir? Please come ahead.
Yeah. So with a tribute to Sanjeev Godaji, who was instrumental in bringing me to Paramagam Honors and enlightened me with the right path and the right direction. And as you have mentioned, this is, even though I belong to Svetambar community, this has given me a lot of strength and correctness in the way of looking at things. So those teachings that I'm imbibing from there are looked into the correct way. So I'm benefiting from both worlds. I'll start my Gandharv presentation. My topic will be on Kudharma. So Panditji has brought forward or focused on the Kudharma for a seeker. So before establishing what a Kudharma is, Panditji wants to let the seeker know what a Sudharma will be, so that he can then compare how the Kudharma operates there. So he's defined Sudharma as Ratnatrayi Yukta Dharma is Sudharma. Based on that, he says, when you are seeking Ratnatraya,
this is not given in the Mokshamarg Prakashak. Sudharma thing is not given in the Mokshamarg Prakashak. It was my take on it. He starts straight away with Kudharma.
Okay.
So I picked it from Kartikeya Anupreksha and gave it over there. So that you have to.
So, but the correct understanding of the Sudharma would be basically the seeker is looking for a Sudharma to attain moksha or attain the eternal bliss state of his own reality or self-realization. So with that respect, he is establishing the Kudharma practices that are practiced. What I have observed, and I'm sure it's commonly observed, that practices carried out as under the umbrella of Dharma are given more relevance than the Dharma itself. And this has happened for centuries and centuries. And I believe that what Panditji is talking about in his book is nothing new to us, even in today's times. So with that kind of fundamental lay down or benchmark of what a Sudharma and Kudharma would be, he has expressed his cautious notes to the seeker to say Kudharma can be put under 20 different headings, or could be even more than that. Some start with Hinsa, some start with the 5 paps of all nature and still consider them as Dharma activity. So one has to be mindful of the trap that is set in these Dharma activities. So for example, if we are looking at Havan, the activity itself is calling for violence to other living beings. So how can it create or generate that non-violent feeling in you? Or how can it allow you to experience the benefit of non-violence and its relation to self-realization? Then commonly we even today see practices of Sankranti and similar activities. When there are eclipses, people do practices that are called as dharma. One has to go back into the reason why these things happen or why these events occur to be able to understand what the reality is and how they are being deceived into thinking that this is a dharmic activity. So it's to say that not to criticize the activity itself or to criticize the people carrying out these activities. It is to look at introspective ways of understanding how we would be comparing those kind of activities to a Sudharma, which is devoid of any of those 5 papas. Then coming to the Jain practices that are also involving religious practices or dharmic practices like tapa, pujan, bhakti, where in the times that we are facing now, we are seeing that all these, the 5 papas are slowly taking their place in there. And in a way, they are also suggestive of a Kudharma activity if we are supportive of that. A very common example that I see in my tradition way of practicing Jainism is that I see people doing tapascharan for a period of time, and then at the end of it, they would be celebrating the fast breaking ceremony by carrying out a lot of activities that are involving hinsa, that are involving pampering of the ego, that are involving a lot of pomp to the ceremony. People are decorating themselves, they are decorating the idols, they are doing a lot of other activities which are to create attention from outside, and they forget that these are practices to carry out to understand the Ratnatraya, to try and experience it within oneself, and to try and apply it to achieve the self-realization. So I believe that what Panditji is going through this book is a very, very relevant matter to me even in today's time. I have to understand what a Ratnatraya will be to be able to judge where I am going wrong. So rather than criticizing external activities, I have to introspect myself and see how these practices are going to be beneficial to me or they're not going to be beneficial to me. And if they are not, then I have to be abstaining myself from such activities. I want to end my Gandhar with an example that happened in my personal life and which is relevant to this subject. It happened about almost about 40 years back when I was about 14, 15 years old. And in my hometown, our neighbor was a Brahmin who used to perform Brahmin Kriyas. So he was a Kriya Karmavadi Brahmin. So one day my mom asked him, my mom is a very staunch Jain follower like you are, and she would question everything that she thinks is doubtful. So she asked him that whatever you do this way to say you do Pindadan to allow people to send their near and dear ones to moksha, how is it logical? And so the Panditji said, the Brahmin, he said, my mom had put her points across and she said, this is why I believe that that has got no relevance in any way. So then the Panditji said, you are very true. I understand what you're saying is true and correct. And within myself, I believe that I am fooling these people. But unfortunately, when I was a young child, my parents never taught me anything to make my livelihood. So this is my livelihood. When I realized when I was cheating these people, I made a point that my son will never learn this trick and he would be leading a normal life without cheating and deceiving someone. It was an eye-opener lesson to me to say a lot of practices we do in life without thinking and expecting that the people who are doing it are knowing better than us, we are actually falling into the trap of Kudharma. So with that, I finish my Gandhar presentation.
Very good, very good. You have done it beautifully. I give you full marks, Saurabh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I can do my Bhavabhasan if you have time, ma'am.
हाँ बोलो क्या topic?
ये topic, this is same topic.
Okay. Can you tell me the root word for the word dharma? And what is the actual meaning of the word dharma? Dharma, I have not taught you in the class, but then if you have read it somewhere, you can tell, or you can simply say, I don't know.
I can only relate to what I have studied. I would say I've read that dharayiti iti dharma. So whatever holds that is it. Okay.
Why meaning hai, dharma comes from the root verb dhr, which means dharan karna.
Okay.
जो आत्मा को धारण करता है वो धर्म.
Dharma, yeah.
तो प्रत्येक वस्तु को वो अपने गुणों को ही धारण करता है और गुणों में ही वो धारण रहता है. वो उसका धर्म है. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. तो हमें कुधर्म को क्यों समझना है? जब सुधर्म चाहिए तो हमें
हम्म।
कुधर्म समझने की क्या जरूरत?
Because we are commonly being social people, we are commonly engrossed into activities that could be misleading us, thinking that it is Sudharma. So understanding, as we say that understanding the bad will make our good even better. So understanding the Kudharma will make us more strongly followers of Sudharma.
Correct. You cannot understand light without
Yeah.
relating to darkness. Only
Yeah.
when you know darkness, you will know what light is.
Light is.
To know Kudharma, you will know that yes, you are not in the trap of Kudharma, then you are in the path of the right dharma.
Yeah.
Okay. So what prompts people to take to Kudharma? Give 3 reasons.
One reason is they are pressurized by family tradition and elders. Second is they find it easier to practice, and the third is that they see or they perceive that they see the benefit of it in others, so they think that they would be doing that rightly.
One thing I would like to add is जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So
Yeah.
all these external formations of dharma दिखता है.
Yeah.
अंदर में क्या होता है वो दिखता नहीं है.
Yeah.
इसलिए वो बिकता नहीं है, मतलब वो लोगों तक जाता नहीं है.
जाता नहीं.
उसके लिए
True.
खोज
True.
करनी पड़ती है. उसके लिए खोज करनी पड़ती है.
True. True.
That's it. Okay, good. You're
Thank
good
you,
on the right path, Saurabh. Proud of
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Jai
we'll
Shri.
stop the class. Can I request somebody to do the Jinmani Stuti and close the meeting? I'm eating, so I don't want to do it. Hey Jinmani Bharati. Hey Jinmani Bharati. It is there in your Balbodh lesson, book 2, last lesson mein. The Jinmani Stuti I do. Balbodh book 2, last chapter. Leke baithna next class mein.
Sure.
हे जिनवाणी भारती तो हे जपू दिन रैन जो तेरी शरणा गहे सो पावे सुख चैन जावाणी के ज्ञान में सूझे लोकालोक सो वाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ. Jai Jinendra, thank you all.
Jai
Jai
Jinendra, ma'am.
Jinendra, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next week, 7 o'clock, Kapil Padmapriya, please remember.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Jinendra, ma'am.
Okay.